Is anybody else just kind of tired with people in general? And I mean that in like the nicest way possible. It's just, I don't know if it's just because I've gotten older and I've just gotten a little bit maybe wiser, I guess you could say. But for the most part, the majority of people in today's world just tire me. And I know the argument people say is not everybody's like that. And that's, I completely agree. Like, I know not everybody falls under that umbrella of being, just exhausting to deal with. And that there are genuinely some nice people out there. But the difference is, I don't have the energy to sort through who isn't and who is. And I find myself as the years roll on more and more that I'm actually just staying indoors more, and I only really truly go out for absolutely necessary things only. And like if I can offload some of that to like other services in terms of like grocery shopping, I will do that, and I have done that. And for the foreseeable future, I'll probably be sticking to that. And the sad part is that I was never always like this. This really kind of just started before 2020. So you can't even really blame 2020 for I can't even blame 2020 for that really. But it just started just before that whole time where the world changed. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Um and I just find most people exhausting, really exhausting for me. And I often find myself on the very few times that I do happen to go outside, it's always often just to wash my car or just go for a drive to clear my head. I don't go to clubs, I don't go to restaurants, I don't go out to eat fast food, I don't do any of that. I don't go out nowhere near as much as I used to when I was a lot younger. And even just being around massive groups of people just really makes me tired. Like if I'm by myself like I am right now, just talking to you guys, I'm fine. Like I'm not using any sort of like energy or anything like that. The moment I go outside and I'm interacting with people, it's like there's this battery that turns on and I only have a set amount of time that I can be around people before that battery needs to be recharged. And the only way that I can recharge that battery is being by myself and away from other people. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying everybody is exhausting. I just want to make that clear. But what I also want to make clear is that I also don't have the energy to sift through all the people who might be good or who might be bad. And I just don't have the energy. And I often just try to keep my interactions with people just very limited and very quick. And lately, and when I mean lately, I mean over the last, say, year, um, I've had a couple of old friends from high school reach out and they're like, "Hey man, how you doing? Blah 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 blah." And while I know a part of me probably misses that like friendship with this person or with these people, this new part of me is just like it's not even worth it. I don't want to go and pretend like we're living back in the days when we used to be younger. Like that just doesn't interest me. That the idea of that doesn't interest me today in 2026. And I often think that it seems to be happening for a lot of people. There are some contents that I there are some content that I there sorry there is some content that I watch where I see that that opinion seems to be shared amongst other people as well. Is that they are all kind of feeling this massive shift to them becoming introverts, and I myself have never been one. And that's the one thing that I guess has significantly changed for me in the last, say, 6 7 years. And there was nothing more than I enjoyed in this world than going out with my friends, going in the car and having a drive. Now the idea of that, it's like I need to be in bed by like 8 o'clock, by like 9 o'clock. I can't be staying out late anymore. And do you know what I mean? So stuff like that, like that's just kind of where the mentality shift has happened for me. And I know a lot of people have expressed that they just feel this. exhaustion with people, and that everybody seems to be just like fake, and that they're always just trying to sell you something, and then the interactions that you have with people just don't seem genuine. Like they're just not genuine anymore. And it's just more about like always about just like financial stuff, and it's all like, and I'm sure, like again, it could just be me, but I'm sure that it's like I'm not the only one who's feeling this specific way. Like in general, people seem to be like, I think in my honest opinion, I think that we are at a time in 2026 when this is probably the most time in the world where people have become, there's like more introverted people than ever before. And I think that 2020 did kind of have a role to play in that, but specifically for me, this started just before 2020. And I think 2020 was kind of really the year that put it in the coffin, like put that last nail in the coffin for me to just accept that this is just how I am now. And also, I know that a lot of people's world changed back in 2020, and I still see videos that are floating around from time to time about how everybody feels like the world changed back in 2020. And I believe that. I just believe that. It's like things have not been the same since 2020, and it's just gone downhill. And like people's just behavior in general, like even just driving on the roads these days is so stressful. Like I can't express how stressful it is driving on the roads now, especially as someone like me who is just always a careful driver. Like I just stay in my lane, I stick to the speed limit, I don't go a kilometer over. And like it's got to the point where the rear view mirror I have facing down, because every time I look into the rear view mirror, there's always somebody tailgating me, and it's like they're like so in a rush to just get where they want to go. They don't have any sort of regards to anybody else around them when they're driving. And man, like I've said it in one of my previous videos. I can't remember which video exactly, but my routine for driving is that I try to keep my driving as minimal as possible. Especially these days with how just fuel prices have just gone back up in general. But I'll just get in the car, lock my door, and I would just eyes on the road. Like I don't care what anybody else is doing. I obviously pay attention to what's going on around me, but like I just want to avoid any altercations, just because I know people are so stressed and wound up these days. It doesn't take much to set them off. And that's what I'm saying. Everybody seems on edge. Everybody seems to be just struggling with this absolute burden of this life in 2026. Just trying to exist these days is very stressful. And like I really try to just put that at the front of my mind when I'm outside and I see these behaviors. It's like this person is just under a lot of stress. But then I remember that I am only in control of what I can do. And it's like I literally just tell myself that all I have to do is just avoid this person, let them go on about their day, let them go to work, to wherever it is that they've got going, and I'm just going to worry about myself. And I just don't have the energy to engage in that type of thing where I know people are just very stressed. I 100% sympathize with that, 100%. But these days, I literally try to avoid people as much as possible. I'm happy being inside my home, and that's my happy place. And like even sometimes when like delivery drivers come to the house, it's like I don't even really want to engage with them as well. Like it just really just it just feels the same as any other conversation. It's like that he probably doesn't care about how you're going, how your day is. He's just trying to be friendly. And that's what I'm saying. It's like that genuine human kindness has just gone from people's eyes. And like I don't ever think it's coming back. And it's no surprise that like anxiety and in introversion and all this stuff is like at its highest that's ever been in human history. And I just personally think that's because like we're all feeling it. Like something has changed. The world around us is forever evolving. It's always some crazy stuff going on, and like sometimes I'm scared to go outside. Like, I just genuinely am. Like, just some days are better than others, and like I know that other people share that same sentiment. It's just they're happy inside their homes, and it's like they're very protective of their homes. It's like that's their last place of happiness that they've got, and the family that they have. And I don't have a big family, and so it's just it's such a weird time, guys. Like, it really is. I don't know what's happened. The world has definitely changed. People have people have changed. I know that. It's like we're living in a very different era when everyone is struggling to survive. I feel like everyone's just in survival mode. And I 100% understand why they're stressed. I'm stressed too. But I don't see things getting better anytime soon. And I think, if you are just kind of like going outside and you see these like people that are just, very, very angry, it's just like, just remind yourself that they're under a lot of pressure as well. And but just because they're under a lot of pressure doesn't mean that I have to try to help them. I'm like, obviously you can't help everybody, that's impossible. But I just do what I need to do, get what I need to get, and I get home. And I lock the door, I lock all my doors, and I'm home. And I just feel like a lot of people share that same feeling. So if you guys share that same feeling about not wanting to go out as much as you used to, and you're just more of a homebody and stuff like that, let me know in the comments. Let me know what your experiences are. And with that being said, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.